Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I thought I would take you along with me as I go through our school area and kind of clean everything out from the school year. I have a lot of things that just need to be cleaned out, sorted through. I have so many papers, so many just like craft things, everything like that just needs to be cleaned out. So that's what we are going to be doing today, and I thought I would take you along with me. So when it comes to cleaning out the old school year in preparation for our summer, this is the time of year where I don't typically prep for the new school year, even though yes, I have most all of my curriculum things bought. I don't actually get any of that out, and I don't restock our art supplies or anything like that until we actually get probably a month before we start school. But since we are doing a little bit of a lighter summer schedule, and I'll share that in an upcoming video, I do like to get everything kind of cleaned out and decluttered, and it's just a lot today. So I honestly kind of don't know where to start. I think I'm probably going to turn the camera around and tackle the white cart. It quite literally hasn't been touched in probably like 5 or 6 months, and it's just full of papers and just everything that needs to get tossed today. I've actually mentioned before quite a few times on my channel that I don't do our CLE light unit tests unless we need the actual practice. So there's a lot of like these types of papers in here, a lot of just random half-finished art projects. Like it's honestly a little bit of everything, and I am definitely looking forward to having it all done. Now I honestly can't believe that I'm already to this point in my year where I'm already having to clean everything out and get ready for the new year, but here we are, and I honestly can't believe it. Time flies. This school year, and I'm going to give like a whole year-end homeschool kind of recap of how our year went all together, probably in an upcoming video here. So I'm not going to give too many details on how our year went all together. I honestly am just in the mode of, well, for one, getting everything cleaned out, obviously, but honestly also just reflecting on this past year. It's been one of like ups and downs and everything like that, but it's also been so incredibly beautiful, and I'm really thankful for just everything that we've gotten done this year and everything that we've accomplished. Even though it was done in a different way, I'm just thankful that we are where we are right now. And I honestly, another reason why I love cleaning things out is it's really a time for me anyway to just honestly not just physically look at everything we got accomplished, but just reflect on all the memories honestly that we've made together as a family, especially as a mama with my little ones. And that to me is one of my favorite things about the end of the year clean out, is everything I'm touching, it's something that we've done together and something that we've accomplished together. And I love that. I love looking at all the things that we did together, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Needs a shoulder to cry on. Everyone needs a helping hand. Everyone needs someone to rely on. Yes, everyone needs a friend. So let's come together, celebrate each other, stand united as one.
So I'm going to probably leave on the bottom shelf are going to be just coloring books. There's a few little workbook things here that my daughter loves doing just for something fun to do. She loves doing busy, like kind of like bookwork things, so she loves these. These are the, I believe this is, yeah, the Rod and Staff little workbooks I've shared before on my channel. She loves doing these. So I'm probably going to keep these in here along with the coloring books, only because they love doing this type of thing in the summer. So I'm definitely going to leave all of those here just so it's like an easy grab thing and they can do. Another one of our recent favorites has been this little Peterson Field Guide coloring book. It's so much fun. So it's kind of like a bird watching thing too, where you can put the sticker on the bird, color it, and I like that they have the little stickers here. I don't know if you can see it, but I like how they have the little stickers, like the colorful ones here, because you can put it on the page that you're coloring. That way you know exactly like what the bird is going to look like. So for example, this is a mallard duck that we did a little while ago, and I really, really like this book. So definitely going to keep that in here for the summer as well. And then we have a couple of the Draw Right Now books that we're also going to keep. And then and then in the bottom shelf here, I'm definitely going to be keeping just some sketch pads, some paper. That way they have easy access to it for their drawing. So in the summer, this goes kind of like a catch-all cart, honestly, during the school year. But in the summer, I'm definitely just going to utilize it as an art cart for now, keeping construction paper. Even though a bulk of my art supplies are in a cabinet that I definitely also had to tackle and get done today, I am still going to keep some fun art things in here for them to do. That way they can do them throughout the summer. Another one of my toddlers' favorites are these Learn to Write books. I believe I got these just off of Book Outlet. It came in like a pack of 12. but they love them. They're actually dry erase, so you can reuse them over and over again, and I love that. We actually use these a lot too in our church activity bags that we take for our kiddos. They like doing those, and I think I'm also going to keep in here the birds and origami. They're getting into origami, and this is a really fun activity, I think, for them, especially during the summer.
Lay all our love before him with all of our faith. He is the change within us. There is a light. Let him lead the way. Lift our hands up and pray today. Oh, pray. Everyone needs somebody.
And then I also have some other just how to draw books that my kiddos love using. So I'm definitely going to keep those in here for the summer. And this one, yeah, there's still some. There's enough left in there to keep that one. So when it comes to this top shelf, there's literally a little bit of everything in here, and I feel like the only thing that really goes in the top shelf here is our crayons and our pencils, and there's just honestly a little bit of everything right now. Magnifying glasses, pictures, snack bags half full. And I'm gonna be honest and say most of this mess up here is 100% my doing. It's when mommy doesn't have time to put something away because I'm teaching a lesson, it goes chucked into the top shelf here. So I am gonna be honest and say most of the messes I end up cleaning out when it comes to things not being where they should be, which is going to be the tray that I'm gonna show you here in a little bit. Most of that, I want to say probably at least 80% of it is my own doing, because as I said, everything just kind of gets tossed into places when I'm in the middle of teaching or when I'm in the middle of our homeschool, and that's okay because I'm able to have times like now where I'm able to kind of just get things reset. Even though I'm not preparing for the new school year, it's so nice just to get everything cleaned out and ready for a more laid-back summer. And I love doing this before summer as well. Because we don't do a full-time school schedule, I like to have everything accessible and ready for the kids. So this cart is going to look a lot different when I prep it kind of when we go back to school here in a couple of months, or at least back to school full-time. In a couple of months, this will again look very different. So I'm really setting it up right now for our summer. That's why it's going to be strictly just art stuff. So as I showed you before, the bottom is the paper, the middle is the kind of like drawing books, and the top here is just going to go back to being back to being anyway for right now, just the crayons and the pencils, glue sticks, scissors, and just things that they need for their summer play. I just love having everything accessible to them, just easy to grab, easy to go whenever they need to find something, and it just makes it easier for them. And honestly, the more organized I am, is something that I'm learning as well, that when it comes to especially our summer stuff, like our summer crafts and things, the more organized I am with it now, it actually benefits me down the road as well, because they are able to just come grab whatever they need instead of having to come and say, hey, where's this? Where's that? Instead, they know kind of where everything is at, and it does need refreshed a few times during the summer as well. But at least we're off to a really good start as far as our actual school year goes. So I try to do my best, and it's 100% not, perfect as far as the organization goes. And I would like to probably add a few more organizational items as far as like how to organize it better. But for now, I'm just going to be using what we have, instead of going out and buying a whole bunch of organizers and everything like that I don't necessarily really need. If I'm going to be honest, I'm talking to myself here as well. So I'm like, actually, I probably don't need all the organizers and stuff, but there are some things I would eventually like to change, but just right now for the summer, it's probably not a huge priority. However, when I do go back to school shopping, I typically go once a year, and that is when I will go ahead and get some new organizational items. I have my eye on a couple of things specifically for how I'm going to be organizing our bulk construction paper and things like that I will show you in an upcoming video. It's actually something I'm really excited about. It's something very simple. It's a method that's very simple, but it's a newer thing to me. It's also very affordable. So all of my back to school shopping organizational items that I have my eye on, it's everything that I need, or quote unquote need, that would make, I think, our schoolroom a little bit more organized. Everything's under $100, and that's like 7 to 9 items. So I am excited to share those with you guys when it comes to our back to school shopping. which will be here in another month or so, which I can't believe I'm already thinking about that. But I also like to just get everything done early so I can then move on. But that is definitely a huge improvement to what it was before. Obviously, when I clean out my next tray and when I clean out our art cabinet, I'm going to be probably finding a lot of color pencils that were missing, as well as a lot of course, glue sticks, scissors, paint brushes, pens. It's actually, I'm going to put over here really quick. But yeah, that's definitely a huge improvement to what it was before. The next thing I am going to go ahead and try cleaning out, I actually get a lot of questions from you guys about this particular art caddy. I keep all of our crayons in here and random other art supplies. As I mentioned before, I'm probably going to find some more pencils that need to go over there. But I actually just got this thrifted. I love thrifting baskets. I did a recent thrift haul in which I shared a lot of my favorite recent basket finds. But this is one of my favorites. A lot of the times I'll go through different seasons of keeping this on our dining room table. That way it's easily accessible for the kids so they can color anywhere in the house. But right now it is just out in our main playroom. This has stayed pretty much just crayons. There's a few pencils in here, but it's done a pretty good job in just keeping crayons in here without having anything else really tossed in. I think here's a glue stick, and I say that now, but when I actually go through everything. So one thing that I wanted to mention as well, like I don't really sharpen my crayons or anything like that. Like we do wear them down a lot till they're like flat on both ends, but I don't actually have a crayon sharpener. So what I like to do is I like to take all of our broken crayon pieces, because we also have a toddler who gets so much joy out of just snapping the crayons. I know I sometimes don't catch her doing that, but that's why we have a ton of these little things of crayons. Anyway, what I like to do, and it's a really fun activity for me and the kiddos to do together, is at the end of the school year, I will take all of our crayons that are just broken or old or just falling apart completely, and we will unwrap the paper and we will either melt them down. I'll use cookie cutters, put them on a cookie sheet, and then what we'll do is we'll break up the little crayon pieces, we'll unwrap them, break them up, and put them into the cookie cutter things, and then we'll melt them in the oven and make our own little kind of like animal crayons, like little animal shapes with the crayons. And then they can use them just for fun, they can use them just to collect them, and things like that. But it's just a really fun way to still use the broken pieces, but while doing a separate art project with them. So we really enjoy doing that. Another thing that we love using little broken pieces of crayon for, honestly, is we also love putting stones and rocks and things like that in the oven. Like we'll sprinkle some water on there, put them in the oven, and then when we get these rocks out of the oven, they are hot, so you'll have to help your kiddos. We'll take the broken pieces and then it will melt on the crayons, so you do like melted crayon artwork. It's almost like painting the rocks, only you're using crayons. And because the crayons are because the rocks are so hot, it just makes beautiful little artwork pieces. So I recommend doing that as well if you do want to use up your crayons without just tossing them if they're all broken. This little basket is all the crayons that we're probably going to melt down into some fun little crafts or do that hot stone crayon art that I was talking about earlier. So I'm going to put these aside, and then we're probably going to do these sometime this weekend just for a fun activity to do with the kiddos. So this organizer is honestly going to probably take me the longest, either this or the art cabinet and where I keep extra curriculum. I'll probably take the same amount of time. Anyway, this has a little bit of everything in it, and I go back and forth to whether or not to love or not really necessarily like this. I love utilizing it for organizing. It's just, again, 4-6 months into our school year, especially near the end of the school year, there's anything in it from like flashcards, pencils, little rocks that my kiddos have collected, just a little bit of everything. There's like toys, there's baby wipes, there's just everything that was either tossed in here. And I always like starting the school year with it organized. I even have little organizers that everything goes in. And again, I'll probably start the new school year like that as well. I am going to go ahead and get everything cleaned out today. There's even like little magnetic pieces of fruit here that was tossed in here. And this is one of those things, again, I love utilizing because we don't have a huge space, as I'm sure you can probably tell. We don't have a huge space and a ton of storage room, so I love utilizing things like this. It doesn't take up a lot of space, but there's a lot of individual units and drawers to where I can keep everything organized. The reason why I said I don't necessarily like it too much is in the season of life I'm in, having a baby that crawls around now and wants to explore every little thing. She will just open the drawers. She'll literally take the whole drawer out and then go boop, dump it out. And going to where everything is everywhere. So right now for the summer, my main goal is not to get everything necessarily organized, but just to get everything cleaned out of it and everything put away where it goes. Like there's a little squishy dolphin, there's a pair of sunglasses, this is like a little math cube. So I'm going to just go through and get everything put away, and I'm not going to worry about, again, restocking or really organizing until we start the new school year. And then when that happens, I'm going to put all the little pieces and all the little pencils and erasers and things like that just in the top drawers where she can't reach yet anyway. And then in the bottom, I'm probably honestly just going to put some of her toys down there. That way she can't get hurt on any of the small pieces, because that was the other thing too. Even in the bottom drawer, I would have like little organizers like this, and then the pens, but she would take the lids obviously off the pens and then try to eat them. So she eats everything. So yeah, I have to just go through and clean all of this out. Again, it's a mess. There's a little bit of everything everywhere. That will probably take me a while. So I ended up actually taking a break, which you wouldn't have probably known because the camera is on again. But I am probably going to go make a cup of coffee really quick. I just laid the baby down for a nap, and all the kiddos are actually at the park right now with my husband. So I'm going to go make myself a cup of coffee and then come back here and hopefully get this room put back together before they get home. So all of the drawers are now completely empty, and yes, they are definitely full of all kinds of random things. And now to deal with actually everything that came out of them, everything that I wanted to keep, there was obviously just a lot of stuff that just went into the trash that was either dried out markers, just all kinds of miscellaneous things that just need to be tossed. Again, my goal today wasn't really to organize a whole drawer because I'll be doing that at the start of our school year. So I am going to go ahead and put back though everything that did come out of it that I want to keep in here. So I have a little caddy for my pencils. These, I only have another handful of these, and then I feel like our house eats pencils because we started the school year with this little green basket almost full, and that's pretty much all that's left. So that is always a funny thing to me, how we always seem to lose socks and pencils, and I never honestly really know where they go. I feel like they permanently disappear once they leave. They're just gone. So definitely have to restock the pencils out of necessity for sure. And the other things I'm going to be keeping in the drawer for now, because again, it's all going to be restocked later, is just a few extra glue sticks, our little pencil grips that the kids love using, a couple of erasers. Here we go. I know a lot of those things go in there. And these cards can go in here for now. For that one. Alright, and then lined up here is all kinds of just curriculums that I just like left there because maybe they didn't work. I need to switch things out. But there's also a lot of things that we used and I just haven't put away, like our CLE curriculum that we're done with for now anyway, until the fall. So all of that I will go ahead and sort through and get put away. All of the things like the actual old school books, I just end up tossing because I don't really, if it's completed or we're not using it anymore, I've kind of learned, especially if it's mostly used up anyway, to just go ahead and toss it. That way it just doesn't take up space. So a lot of this stuff is that. There's old papers and activities and stuff that can go. You working it out for the good of those you call according to your purpose, for the good of those you called according to your plan. Well, you are working for the good. Yeah, you are working. Alright, so So I was finally able to get everything put away, and then everything here, it doesn't look like it, but I did clean the whole thing out and then just put back in here. I have my teacher guides for my core curriculum, and I have a few other activities that we're going to be kind of working on over the summer. And then I did leave my little card organizer out only because I know as I go throughout the house later today, there's some things that are going to need put away in that. So I'm going to leave that out to kind of remind me to also put them away. So I have that, and then I also just left out the basket of little math counters, and then I have the little crayon caddy, but everything else is done. And yes, it feels so much lighter. I'm always amazed at how just decluttering a few simple things makes such a huge difference in the overall feel of the room. And then I'm also really thankful that we went ahead and cleaned this out. This is going to really help me, not just to get through the summer, but it's really also going to help just having this done. That way when I go back to school shopping, this will be ready to fill again. I am probably, while this is open, I'm gonna go ahead and stick all the pens in here. I try to keep all the pens out of my toddler's reach, just so she doesn't open all the caps and toss them. So that's that. I'm gonna go ahead and call that a day for this thing. And the top is just very, very simple. I kept the good manners cards as you saw. And then I believe in the bottom here, see that one's still empty, I have the dry erase boards, the chalkboards, and things like that down here. So that's everything, honestly, that is in those. And of course the abacus and the little math things. So I feel really happy with how much I got done. I am probably going to go over here, and I am going to attempt to tackle this huge mess back here. This hasn't been touched in probably a solid year. Things have just been kind of tossed in there. There's games, there's curriculum, there's old books that also need to be tossed. And then if I have time, I also need to tackle this shelf up here, because again, it's also kind of just collected things over the past year. I have some paint jars here that I also need to get cleaned out, and really just things need to be sorted through, wiped down, cleaned out, get ready for a little bit of a summer month here. And yeah, I feel like there's a lot to do, but I'm just going to focus on getting this cabinet done, and then I'll tackle the shelf, if not today, the next day. Right now, this shelf here is definitely my main priority and probably biggest project of the day. So the baby woke up, and then I totally forgot to record the first actual clean out of the shelf. I ended up getting rid of all kinds of just readers. I have a couple of unit studies that I got rid of. One thing that I did mention that I, again, forgot to hit record on is I have this, let me find it here, the early elementary gather round unit study. This is the, yes, the early elementary level. It's the Creepy Crawlies. We did this last summer and absolutely loved it. But I have this extra one. If any of you guys want it, please send me a message on Instagram, and I would love to send this to you. Just because it's such a fun unit study, and I don't want to throw it away or have it go to waste. So please let me know if you want that. And then the other things that I also mentioned, again, when it wasn't recording, is the Usborne Wipe Clean Ready for Writing. These are great for the little years if you want some practice without having to print off worksheets and do it and just toss them and throw them away. This is something that you can, again, wipe clean. You do it over and over again. Love these. So I wanted to mention that, or I should say I already did mention that. Anyway, the things that I kept up here, I have a couple of boxes of readers. I have some activities up here for my preschooler. One thing that I mentioned already is my preschool learning folder. I've mentioned this so many times on my channel, but I love it. It's a lot of work to print this off and laminate all the pieces, but once you have it put together, it's so much fun. Just all kinds of little fun little learning activities for my preschooler. So I'm going to be working on this with my soon-to-be 3-year-old this fall. And again, it's just fun little games and activities, nothing really formal. But the second shelf here, the Easy Origami, I am going to keep up here with my other little books and everything up here that I have.
You working it out for the good of those you called according to your purpose, for the good of those you called according to your plan. Well, you are working for the good. Yeah, you are working for the good. In all things,
already much better. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day for this. That way I have time to get all of this down here, which you can't see, and I'll show you in a minute, put up and kind of put away.
Those you called according to your purpose, for the good. Those you called according to your plan, well, you are working.
So these are my stacks that came out of my schoolroom. I typically, when I'm working on areas or sections of the house, I will take things and put them in the room where they go, but not actually put them away just for the sake of time. And then when I get to the next room, I work on putting them away, if that makes sense. So that's why these stacks are here. So we are going to go ahead and put them back on the shelf here. And then that basket up here on this shelf is all the stuff that I kind of have to toss and kind of sort through. That shelf right there with the baskets on them, that's kind of like my core curriculum shelf. So I just have to kind of get that cleaned out and organized and ready for a new school year. I don't know why I love stacking up all my CLE stuff. I just like seeing how much we get done, and the fact that I can look back at the end of the year and seeing that we got all of this done is just incredible to me. So it is quite the heavy basket, so I'm going to just do a chunk of it at a time here as far as stuff that gets decluttered. I'm pretty sure everything else, I am probably going to keep the level K reader just for some extra reading practice for my soon-to-be first grader. I guess she's technically in first grade, but I am going to go ahead and hold on to that. Everything else here, I don't want to say everything else here for sure. Yeah, there's some stuff in the bottom of stuff I am going to go ahead and keep as well. Random nature cards. I do need to find the box of those going because I know they have a home around here somewhere. The light unit test that we typically don't do as well. I'll toss these out too. And then these, I believe, are all readers as well. So I'm going to go ahead and keep these for extra practice this summer. And Moya Press Numbers book. I'm probably going to donate that since I'm not needing that right now. And these are some other kind of like wipe clean little workbooks. I am probably going to donate these as well since we didn't end up utilizing these much. And I'll just put that in the donate pile. These are little sticker books. My kids love those. And then my Alpha Phonics program. Definitely going to keep that.
Yeah, you are working for the good. We will trust in you. We will trust, we will see you move. We will trust in you. Oh, we will trust, we will see you move. For the good of those you called according to your purpose. For the good of those you called according to your purpose.
So everything already looks a ton better. I am going to go ahead and stack up my Alpha Phonics thing here, just so we have that accessible in case we do that. And then in the same little stacking tray here, I'm going to go ahead and start putting away the readers and stuff that I grabbed from our school table that we had out there. So I am going to keep the Victory Drill book out here. I'm going to keep all of our CLE things together because my daughter is doing that this fall and she's already completed the first full reader. So for readers, I am going to change things up a little bit while I'm kind of switching things around. I'm going to take all the readers that we're not actively using as part of our formal curriculum and put them in that cabinet I showed you, because on that top shelf it has room for all the readers. I am going to keep the Good and the Beautiful Level K reader, the original one. I'm going to keep this out for my kindergartner. Well, I guess she's in first grade now, which is crazy. But I'm going to keep this out for her for extra reading practice over the summer. But everything else, I think I'm going to, and then the core curriculum, of course, is the Christian Light Education readers I'm going to keep on this shelf. But all of these readers that I have on hand just for extra practice and that we'll kind of pick and choose from over the summer, I am going to take all of these and go put them on that top shelf. I'll be right back. Okay, that made much more sense to keep all of the readers that we're not actually using as part of our curriculum in one place. And then that leaves, again, the Christian Light Education. I have this binder of insect cards that I do need to find another home for it. So I'm going to lay this aside only because I would like to keep this shelf here just for our core curriculum and nothing else. Okay, I am going to probably get rid of, and I've held on to this for way too long because, again, when you spend money on curriculum, it's just hard to get rid of it. Anyway, these are just the Master's Books Math Practice Makes Perfect. There's quite a bit out of here that hasn't been used. I say that, over half has been used. So it's not a complete waste, but I always feel bad tossing out curriculum that's not completed. Maybe it's just the frugal side of me. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and toss that because we are not using it right now. And then again, this is another Insects and Bug workbook. Put that in our summer cart of the summer activities. This is the Summer Brain Quest Betweens K and 1 workbook. This is a really, really fun thing just for keeping those skills kind of built up, but also fun and inviting for over the summer. I am going to do another designated video on completely decluttering this entire shelf because I have a lot of kids' books that maybe we didn't like, or I didn't like the storyline, or the kids didn't like them, or they're just, you know, we've kind of outgrown them, so to speak. So I'm going to do a designated video on that so you can see really some of our favorite, like top favorite books that I highly recommend, like every mama have, you know, those types of things. But for now, I'm just going to try to make room for this until I get to that video because we have a lot of books. Like, we love books, and we have books in pretty much every room of the home. And it's just, I don't know, I love having a kind of feast, as Charlotte Mason likes to say, of literature for the kids, but like really good stories, not just like the fluffy stuff, if that makes sense. I love fiction, but I also like my kiddos like nature and everything to do with that, but just there's so many wonderful things that you can learn from a good like fiction book, but I'm really choosy with what I also bring into my home. So we're going to be doing a complete declutter over here shortly, because another reason why I wanted to do another declutter is that it is coming up on yard sale season, and here in the Midwest, yard sales are like everywhere. They're extremely popular. Like, they are literally every single weekend. There's hundreds of them around. Anyway, and I always find so many good books, but I don't want to bring any more into my home until I kind of declutter, because I don't want just stacks of them sitting around. I would like to keep what we have kind of on this main shelf, because as I mentioned before, it's our main storage area for our home. So that's probably what I'm going to be working on in the next couple of weeks here, is decluttering everything and just passing on and donating books that we maybe no longer need and, like I said, have outgrown. I am really happy with everything that we did get done today. I was able to get all the curriculum, everything cleaned out, and it is ready to restock with all the new things in the next coming month or so. And then I was also really thankful I got that cabinet cleaned out. That was honestly something I was dreading. I did not want to do it because it was a big thing to tackle. So I got that done, and then I also, as you saw, the white art cart. It's ready for summer. It's full of like their art books and their little pencils and things. And again, I'm hoping I don't have to buy anything over the summer. I'm really wanting to wait till we start the new school year. I got that done, and then I got that organizer cleaned out, the school table, all the curriculum again cleaned out. And I just feel very, very light now because it's all out and like all decluttered, and the spaces are more organized now. So I'm really thankful that I was able to get that all done. I'm going to now, I have the pile of curriculum here that I need to just go ahead and toss. I'm probably going to grab a cardboard box and get all that sorted out. The last two things I want to try to get done today, when my little ones are gone, or at least 3 of my 4 are gone, I want to try to organize some of the toys. Something that I'm trying to be more intentional about when it comes to my kiddos' toys is doing a toy rotation, especially in the summer. That way we're not feeling like we need to find something new. We can just rotate them every few months. And I've done that before, especially in the winter, and there's such a huge difference between what we bring into our home when we're just rotating what we already have, because little ones, you know, will play with what's in front of them, and they might forget they had something. Then when I bring it back out, it's like, oh, it's like so exciting to them, and I love doing that. So I'm probably going to work on boxing up a few of the things that I know they don't really play with right now, putting them aside, and then I'm going to organize some other stuff and try to get that done today. I don't know if I will get it done today, but I am going to try. And then I also want to, when this little one wakes up, take her outside and try to work in the garden a little bit before they get home as well, before we start our evening routine. So that's the plan anyway, but right now I'm going to go ahead and actually get a trash bag and toss everything out. So if you're looking for a small like kids pool that doesn't blow up and it's actually pretty durable and good size, this is a great one. It's only like a foot deep, so it's great for the little years, but it's also really big. And the best part is you can like fold it and like store it really, really easily. So I love that part about it. Anyway, I wanted to mention that because we've never really had the best of luck with pools, and this has just worked really, really well for us. So let me grab the sprinkler, which I believe is out in the garden really quick.
Can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car.
So while the sprinkler's on, I think I am going to try to go inside and maybe sort through a couple toy bins. I don't think I'm probably going to get through all of it today, but I do want to at least start the project and get at least a tote into storage for that toy rotation thing I was talking about. Anyway, I'm going to do that. The kiddos should be back, honestly, probably within half an hour. So I'm going to try to get at least 2 bins sorted through. And then I'll still need to get a trash bag and actually put everything in it and then get it out. So that's what we're going to work on now. And then if we do have time, even if my kiddos are home, I will come back out and actually do some weeding. I just find that even if it's muddy after it's been watered, it is so much easier to just get in the garden and get all the weeds out and hoe it when it's wet than it is when it's super dry, because it is so much work. So I much rather get super muddy and messy while doing it versus just yeah, not being able to do it at all. So we're gonna work on that now. So this could be a good thing or a bad thing, but one of the things that I do like about the fact that we go to Costco a lot is the fact that we always have a ton of boxes. Now again, that could be a pro and a con. Most of the time it is a con because now we have to get rid of these big boxes, but they are great for doing things like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to probably go through each bin and take out the things that I know my kids haven't touched or played with. I'm pretty kind of, I guess I can say tuned in to what I know that they play with, just because I'm with them all the time. But if it's something that I know they haven't touched in like, probably 2 months at least, I just put it in the box, or will be putting it in the box instead of donating it. Now typically when I do playroom declutters or bedroom declutters or anything like that, I will just donate the items, but I am going to try, instead of donating them, doing a rotation. That way, you know, every few months we're having something new and exciting, again, in an effort to just honestly, I think, save money as well, because if we're rotating things every few months and taking things out and putting stuff back, I think it will be really fun, because I will keep the playroom kind of new and exciting for the kids instead of just the same and then just getting rid of it altogether, when we can just rotate what we have, and hopes to make it more exciting and new and fresh. All right, so I did go ahead and get this whole thing kind of cleaned out and organized. And the first one, as I mentioned, all of our little play cookware, our little tea set stuff. And I have a cubby of just like train track. My kiddos loved building trains, and I don't really know what else to do with this, and it didn't fit anywhere. So I just put that there. It's actually been there for a while. And then this is just a few of my baby's favorite toys. She has most of her toys in the living room in that basket that I've shared in a previous video. But that is here. And then in this cubby, I have all of these little playing pieces, all these little connectagon things that the kids love playing with. So I have those here. And this one, this is an empty one that I'm probably going to put all of these little stacking cups here that she loves playing with. So I'm going to put those in there. And then I have our learning resources cash register there. I have all of our outdoor, we have some ropes, just all the outdoor little adventure things. Actually, you know what? I have some baby things down here. Let me grab those out really quick. I forgot I put those in the wrong one. So I have that, and then I have a little wooden stacker down here at the baby's level. And then this is another empty one that I'm probably going to put some like toy cars in or something like that. Then I have the Fisher-Price phone. And then in this one, I have all of my daughter's little favorite little things that she likes to play with. All of their toy, like their toys specifically for them, they keep in their rooms. They have their own little toy set up in their room that are their I guess you can call them their specific toys. And the actual main part of the playroom and the school area, so everything in here is really for everybody. That's kind of how we do it in our home. We keep all of their special toys in their room, but then anything out here is kind of free game, so to speak. So everyone kind of plays with everything out here. Well guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me as I attempted to get all the things done. I am really very thankful and honestly just really satisfied with what I was able to accomplish today. I know a lot of she's dumping out a puzzle, so I'm gonna go do that next. Anyway, I'm very content with what I was able to get done today. It's incredible to me how almost you feel physically lighter when things are moved around and decluttered. It's just incredible. It's an incredible feeling, and I love it when I'm finally able to kind of get in there, get everything cleaned out, thrown away, especially the throwing away thing. There's something to me extremely satisfying about actually taking trash bags full of stuff out. It's great. It's a great feeling, and I was really excited. We probably went through 3 trash bags out and then 2 boxes of toys that will go into storage. So very thankful for that. I am going to go ahead and head back out to the garden for a little bit. So I will kind of take you along with me for the next little bit here as I go and get some weeding done. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit into what it's like decluttering in our home. And until my next video, I hope you guys have a great day, whatever you're doing, and God bless. Bye.